Hi, welcome to Dragon's Cave. My name's Karen. So I made this tray last week or something, kind of just using up excess from other projects. What I want to do today, I've seen a few people doing these lately on various methods of stenciling on resin. So I've got these silk screen stencils from Timu. I'll give you 1 second. So the plan is, I've only got one of each, so I'll have to do it two separately. I'm going to try this with glue. It's just basic white glue, dries clear. Put that through the silk screen stencil, get the stencil off, and then brush it with this, not brush it, drop some of this holographic powder onto it. When it's dry, brush off the excess and see how that goes. So cross your fingers, wish me luck. This is something completely new to me. I do like to try things though. It doesn't really matter if it doesn't work that well. These are sticky, so hopefully I shouldn't get any running over or under the stencil where it shouldn't be. Let's pop some glue into this pot, brush it on from there. Here we go. Should be plenty, probably more than enough. Just going to use this small cheap makeup brush. Try and get quite a bit of glue in and make sure it goes right through the screen. And hopefully it won't spread too far and make too much of a mess. There are probably better ways of doing this, but as I say, this is my first time using stencils of any description. So if it doesn't work, it's not the end of the world, because it's a water-based glue, so I can just wash it off and do something else with the tray. I've seen, I can't remember who it was, but I will check and I'll put it on the screen. Somebody recently doing this with acrylic paint. Now, I don't have any acrylic paint. It's not something that's in my talents. Well, I do have acrylic paint, but I only have red that I use for dyeing my resin. Okay, I think that's it completely covered now. As I said, way too much glue in the pot. See if I can just pick up the edge here and peel this off. Okay, that actually looks pretty good. Pop that back on there a second and wipe that extra glue off in a second. Now, I'm hoping you can see the pattern there. So I'm going to put probably far too much of this powder on. Obviously, because the glue is wet, I don't want to brush this in. Oops. I'll gather up the excess powder afterwards anyway and put it back in the pot. Try that and just give the tray a little shake. And make sure all the glue is covered. Sorry if that's making you seasick. Just tap it down a little. Okay, I hope you can see that pattern in there. I'm going to leave that until it's dried, brush off the excess, and then do one on the other end. See you in a little while. Hi guys, I'm back. This turned out really nice. So I'm going to do the same again on the other side, and hope it turns out as well as that did. I've cleaned off the loose powder. Just hope it sticks well enough still that I'm going to get as crisp a line on that as I did with the first one. Yeah, that's too gooey. Let's pop a little bit of fresh glue in there. Obviously a lot less than I used last time. There we go. So after seeing the results of the first one that I did on this side, obviously one of the first things I did was get back onto Temu and order some more silk screens. I'm not sure how long they last, to be fair, with using natural glue on them rather than paint. But they weren't expensive. I think this was a sheet of maybe 12 different patterns, which I got for around about €3, I think. Temu actually delivers quite quickly here to Spain. I can't order from the, well, I can order from the UK, but import costs just mean that whatever I buy from there is ridiculously expensive. So unless I've got somebody coming over to visit that can actually bring things for me, I tend not to. Okay. Hopefully I've worked that in enough. Yeah, it looks okay. Let's put that back on the backing sheet. Get the powder. And I know I'm using far too much here, but as with the first one, I did actually manage to rescue most of it. The overspill went back into the pot. A little more where I've missed. It's quite staticky, so considering it's a powder, it doesn't really move as much as you might expect it to. Okay, I think that's worked just pretty much as well as the first one did. So I'm going to leave that on there to dry. When it's done, I'll get the excess off and put a little top coat on it. I'll see you for the next part. Bye. Hi, back again. I think through the screen you can actually see this beautifully as it is. This was the second one that I did, and you may be able to see I've just missed just a little tiny piece here, but it's not enough to worry about. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Yeah. I'm just going to put a thin top coat on this. Got my resin mixed up. As usual, this is the Resin Pro eye crystal. It's a lovely clear resin. It's my favourite of all the ones I've used so far. Kind of limited on what's available to me in Spain anyway, but I really like this one. I've been using it most of the time for the last 3 years that I've been doing resin. Tried a couple of others, didn't really like them for one reason or another. I'm just going to pop. Hope this doesn't float. Stop. Ugh. Hope this doesn't really lift the powder off the stencils. If I got a little bit floating, it's not a big issue. I brushed off as much of the excess as I could. I used this really soft, fluffy brush. So I didn't want to disturb the pattern at all. So leave it with that for a second. As you can see, it's spreading itself out to the edges nicely. I don't want to put too thick a layer because obviously then you lose depth on the tray. But yeah, we're pretty much there. I don't see any surface bubbles, but I'll give it a second. There are one or two little bubbles on there. I've got fluff in there already. How did that happen? Wait a second. Just a tiny bit of fluff just there. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, one thing with Spain is that it can be very dusty, especially in warm weather. I can't really do anything to keep the dust out of my workspace. Can't even keep the cats out of here soon. Don't have much choice, much chance of being successful with anything else. Okay, I'm not going to spray alcohol on this to get rid of the bubbles because it can leave like a film and spoil the overall look. Just going to get these bubbles with a long neck lighter. Okay, I don't see any more in there. I'm going to pop this on the heat mat. Obviously there's not going to be a demold because you can already see clearly what it's like, but I'll get some pictures when it's set and see you for the next film. Bye.